First of all, look at how
posted by the so-called Freedom
hateful
Convoy
and
supporters
spiteful
has
she
been
is.
circulating on social media. They claim that the video was of an Algonquin powwow showing support for their convoy and their cause, but that wasn't the case at all. Instead, it was stolen. The video.
Stolen? Your Orange Gump. Why don't you ask him where he got his ideas for his snake stories, for his golden shoes that he was pawning off, for his Bibles from the Bible Pimp from Trailer Park Boys? Why don't you ask him where he got those ideas? And everything you guys do is steal. You guys steal everything from everybody. You steal every stuff that I say. That's how pathetic you are. You want to talk about stolen? How do you steal a video? Give me a break, bro. You guys make up anything, man. Oh, look, I forgot to record it. Oh, I forgot to push the record button.
Legend Eugene Cardinal, 1953 to 2019.
Before I
City
started
News
going,
has confirmed the video was not showing an Algonquin powwow, but rather it was recorded at a Cree round dance in December of 2018.
You did the same thing to all these people across the whole friggin' continent, across the whole world. Everybody, look what you do to your own people. Go send Bieber to Puffies, and then put him on the news how great of a time he had. You sick degenerates.
In Frog Lake, Alberta.
I think when people are doing that,
look at this idiot.
I think it hurts us as we go through our own challenges every day. And you know what? We are the Frog Lake First Nations Treaty 6 Alberta, and that video was taken in our band hall.
Frog Lake First Nations Chief.
Where were you? Where were you when they were putting everybody in cages for the safe and effective you know what? Like in Australia when they had friggin' whole neighborhoods built, people that never even got the deadly 0.001% you know what rate corona. Friggin' they were locked up for weeks in cages. Or how about 8-year-olds being locked in solitary confinement? What were you doing with your little friggin' heart then? Huh? When the truckers had to save your people friggin' from being locked up in cages again. You didn't learn your lessons from smallpox, obviously, huh? Were you a big proponent of Operation Warp Speed as well? With your little orange shirt? Is that to match your orange Jesus? Your orange Gump, the Gumpster, your Lord and Savior?
And, you know what? We are the Frog Lake First Nations Treaty 6 Alberta, and that video was taken in our band hall.
I didn't see
Frog Lake First Nations Chief Greg
I didn't see no Frog Lake First Nations Alberta supports the trucker signs when they were trying to save you from you.
He was
be ashamed of yourself
when he found out that his people were being misrepresented in this way.
Here we're pretending that this happened in honor of the convoy.
I don't know anything about that.
And that's totally disrespectful.
Of course,
totally disrespectful, bro. They mRNA'd 5.5 billion people, and this idiot's talking about being disrespectful. How much of your people are left that haven't been friggin' mRNA'd? How many of your women are even left alive, friggin', that haven't been done with just like everybody else?
That were involved in the event that was recorded. So
look at this Poindexter here.
Very problematic, and ultimately it's deceptive. So that's the danger there.
They said warp speed, friggin' the safe and effective weapons of mass destruction, safe and effective, and he's talking about deception. Bro, once you talk about phone to skull technology and frequencies, talk about deception.
Reporters have been sharing this video on Twitter. This one poster writing, Aboriginal support for truckers. How are we the people fringe? How are we the people, the minority?
If they're able to take a piece of media like this and show that they are getting support from
this pathetic
an external group that helps validate their cause.
That helps validate their cause. Did you hear Mr. Safe and Effective Weapons of Mass Destruction talking about if they can get people, they can validate their cause?
Yeah. Professor of Media Economics.
Why don't you talk about the 16 billion passwords that got hacked from everybody's stuff and tell everybody how safe their digital currencies they're going to be?
University of Toronto. He says it's not uncommon for groups like this to try different ways to change the political discourse.
Political discourse. What discourse? Everybody's bought and paid for. I've proven it over and over. All these idiots in YouTube are all part of the propaganda machine, like I've proven over and over. Just like this friggin' egg-headed idiot. And I'm bald too, so I'm the last one that should be making fun of bald people.
Particular movement is going to be framed in the collective consciousness.
The collective consciousness. Do you hear another member of the Borg? We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. The collective consciousness. Safe and effective. Safe and effective. Safe and effective. Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. The collective consciousness of the Borg.
Right-wing populist movements often...
Right-wing populist movement. Why don't you talk about the WF populist movement that's taken over the globe, and now 5.5 billion people are mRNA'd. Why don't you talk about that movement?
Times are built around people with good intentions.
Good
and
intentions.
Legitimate
Well,
concerns.
like the safe and effective, you know what? Those were good intentions too. Yeah, like they didn't know, right? The trial data didn't tell you what you already knew. Like Event 201 didn't happen, right? That's why you still have the web pages up.
That should be recognized and debated, but oftentimes those movements are also hijacked by more extremist elements, and I think there's been some talk about that
you
going
can
on
see,
in this case.
Yeah, all the Nazis, right? All the Nazis. Like when your parliament, probably that this guy was sitting there supporting, were giving a standing ovation to an actual Nazi over and over and over, multiple standing ovations, right? And you were calling the truckers Nazis, right? But your entire government, all these idiots that you support, was giving actual Nazis standing ovations. They were locking people up in camps, locking 8-year-olds up in solitary confinement, friggin' like in good old Quebec, and you're gonna talk about friggin' Nazis. How about old your other old Jesus friggin' from Canada, old tyrant Trudeau? You will not be getting on a train. You will not be going to a restaurant. And you're gonna talk about Nazis, bro. And you guys are the ones that friggin' supported this regime. You guys are just like the friggin' Jews that put the other Jews on the train, man. No different.
You know what?
Back in World War II
nobody
times.
Approached us, not one phone call, not one email.
Yeah, you're so important, buddy. You're so important.
Reach out message of any sort. So, it's very disturbing.
Yeah, everybody's the center of attention.
The title of the video has since been changed to reflect what is taking place in the video. Chief Greg Desjardins.
You know what she reminds me of, bro? The Devil's Advocate. You ever see the Devil's Advocate when all the demons change faces? All these friggin' girls. I don't even know if that is a woman. Maybe that was a man too. You never know these days. Friggin' she could pass as a man.
Is asking for it to be taken down. Melissa McCauley, City News.
Oh, that's good. See you later, Missy.